Good morning, ultimate hustlers and digital empire builders. It is that time for the Cortez Hustle Show. And today, we've got another wonderful episode lined up for you. We're talking 16 small biz funding sources that you need to know about, my friend. Everybody can't go and get a loan from a bank for their business. Some of you guys are just starting out. Some of you guys just are testing out businesses, but there are other funding sources outside of the bank that you need to know about. So I'm going to be sharing that with you guys today. So do me a huge favor, comment in the chat where you're from, drop the name of your business and or your brand, and smash that share button, ladies and gentlemen. And let's kick it this morning. Yo, what's up, ultimate hustlers, and welcome to the Cortez Hustle Show, the business podcast for the entrepreneur of the 21st century. And I'm your host, Cortez Hustle. Our goal is to give you a behind-the-scenes look at how the world's greatest hustlers build amazing brands, scale their businesses to incredible heights, sell more, make more, and create mass movements that impact the world. It doesn't matter if you're a seasoned vet or you're sitting on the sidelines with aspirations to one day unleash your inner hustle. This show will provide the insights into how pure grit, determination, and hard work has morphed into some of the most iconic brands and personalities and how they are moving the culture forward. You'll get a mix of solo shows featuring yours truly, as well as interviews and content from other hustlers that I either know personally or I've learned from or whose grind I've come to know and respect. And you'll also get exclusive recordings from our membership called Monetize My Life Academy, which you can check out at monetizemylifeacademy.com. That's a program where we go live every month with some of the best hustlers on the planet, sharing best practices on how we all can explode our brands with advanced branding and marketing tactics, business development strategies, and financial game planning necessary to build the empires we all desire. Again, that's at monetizemylifeacademy.com. If you like today's episode, chances are the hustlers you're connected to will like it as well. Share it with those in your network. And when you do, use hashtag Cortez Hustle so I can see you and hopefully give you a shout out and share you in my stories. So check out today's episode and make sure you subscribe to the feed on your favorite podcasting networks. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Cortez Hustle Show. I'm, of course, your host, Cortez Hustle, everybody's favorite fatherpreneur, coming to you live and direct from the bizcredithelper.com studios right here in St. Louis, Missouri. That's right. If you are in business and you have not begun the process of establishing your business credit, then you are slipping on your pimping, my friend. Go to bizcredithelper.com. A free business credit masterclass awaits you, and it'll literally walk you through step by step what you need to do to start the process of establishing your business credit. That's bizcredithelper.com. Today, we're talking 16 small biz funding sources. I apologize to any of you guys who are in the nonprofit space and you are expecting Dr. Amatullah the Great to be on this show, but she has some technical difficulties this morning, so we're going to reschedule her so that she can come and lay out for you guys how to fund the social impact and the social change that you want to see. But do me a huge favor, man. Comment in the chat where you're from. Drop the name of your business and or your brand and smash that share button, ladies and gentlemen, because everybody seems to be struggling with this particular subject when it comes to us as entrepreneurs, getting access to capital, and particular Black-owned businesses are really struggling with access to capital. And we're going to talk about why some of that is. But before we get into any of that, I got a couple quick announcements for you guys. So thanks to everybody who came out this weekend to the Tribal Lead Generation Automation Workshop. It was phenomenal. Shared a lot of tips, a lot of value. There were some great testimonials that came out of that. People really enjoyed what I shared with them for free on lead generation and automating and building systems and processes around their lead generation. So we had a great time on Saturday. If you guys want the replay of that, then you need to join the Black Biz Success Mastermind, right? It's a free Facebook group here. All you got to do is text keyword mastermind or 314-866-4053. If you're in the mastermind, I'll be posting that today. So or just comment replay and I'll send you a copy of it. If you're not really one of those people who are on Facebook all the time and you just want to have a copy of it, just comment replay and I'll send it over to you. Also, if you are a service-based business, you might want to comment in the chat where you're from and the name of your business. I am looking for about 10 people to beta test a new lead generation strategy that I am deploying, but it's for service-based businesses first, and then we'll roll it out to product-based businesses a little bit later. So I want you guys to really, if you're a service-based business, I want to help you fill your calendar this month with this new strategy. For beta testing it, it won't cost you anything except a testimony at the end of the process so that I can develop this product. Give me your feedback. If you are interested in that, I need you to text local biz to 314. Let me put that on the screen for you. If you're interested in beta testing this new product that's going to literally allow me to fill your calendar with qualified appointments, I need you to text local biz to 314-730-3999 so that you can take a short marketing audit and get on my calendar. First come, first serve. First 10 that qualify, I'm going to run this play for you and fill your calendar for you for the rest of the month. How does that sound? Text local biz to 314-730-3999. Also, last but not least, man, the debut of the Black Biz Success Show was a phenomenal success. A lot of people tuned in, got some great feedback. So again, I want to say thank you. Now, before we get into the 16 small biz funding sources that every business needs to know about, we start every episode of the Cortez Hustle Show with a quote of the day. And today's quote says this: the worst kind of money is a little bit. And that's from my mentor, Brian Bean. The worst kind of money is a little bit, right? Now, let me break that down for you so you can understand what this is, because we are all experiencing that to some degree. Like Les Brown says, you got to be hungry. But you know what kills your hunger? A little bit of money. I'm experiencing that right now myself, right? A little bit of money kills your hunger. That's why the system works so well in America for paying people peanuts for their time when it comes to working a job. Now, please be clear. I'm not bashing anybody with a job. I'm bashing the system that allows companies to position themselves in a way that you need them. And when they pay you a little bit of money, what happens is you get comfortable, you get complacent. That hunger that you had to do great things, those dreams that you saw as a kid, when you get a little bit of money, that fire starts to die. That fire starts to die. So there are people who are literally making 6 figures a year with 6 figures a month talent. Wait a minute. I don't know what's going on with my camera, but I need to run that one back so y'all can get it. This is no disrespect to anybody who's working a job, but let me just be clear. There are people who are making 6 figures a year that possess 6 figure a month talent. But the reason they're making 6 figures a year is because that little bit of money has got them comfortable. Now, again, I'm not bashing anybody if you make less than 6 figures and you're struggling a little bit right now. Just take the lesson, right? That little bit of money can cause you to lose your hunger, and therefore you will go out and bury your talent instead of going out and leveraging your talent to reach the fullest potential that you have on the inside of you. So today's quote is from Brian N. Bean. The worst kind of money is a little bit, because when you get a little bit of money, if you're not careful, it could kill your ambition. And that is the quote of the day right here on the Cortez Hustle Show, brought to you by BizCreditHelper.com. Listen, Got business credit? Why not? Chances are you don't know what to do to position yourself to get it. So if you go to bizcredithelper.com, there's a free business credit masterclass waiting for you that will walk you through step by step what it takes to build your business credit. It's 100% free. It's 100% value. It will tell you what you need to do and what you need to stop doing or what you don't need to do to make your business credit a reality. Now, for those of you who do not want to do it yourself, then there is an offer for you to hire someone to do it for you. But you will get the knowledge, the education, the information you need to start the process of building your business credit at bizcredithelper.com. So we had on the show scheduled Dr. Amatala the Great. She is a funding specialist from the fundingmagnet.com, and she helps individuals and nonprofit organizations with the funding they need to fund their missions, right? She had some technical difficulties this morning, was unable to get on. So I thought I'd stick with a similar theme and do 16 small business funding sources from Cabbage.com. But before I get into that, y'all know I'm a marketer at heart. Y'all know that as much as I love to give y'all all types of information that can help you grow in your business, I have to point out something, right? Matter of fact, let me just share my screen with y'all so y'all can see this. And I apologize to those of you who are just watching the actual podcast or listening to the actual podcast. If you want to see this, then all you got to do is go to thecortezhustleshow.com and you can see all of the replays of the show and the videos, or you can follow us on YouTube at youtube.com/financial health mentor. The videos are there as well. So I'm going to share my screen. I want you guys to see something, because when I talk about marketing to small businesses and I encourage them to have some sort of blog or a podcast connected to their business, this is why. So let's just dissect this real quick. Then we're going to get into these 16 things, right? So if we look at this right here, right? If we look at this, right? This is Cabbage.com, which is now owned by American Express. Cabbage is a small business lending institution, right? So do y'all see how them having a blog attached to their website, and on their blog, what they write about is small business funding sources. Why? Because they are a source of small business funding. So they know that this article is going to attract small businesses to their website because that's their target audience. But in particular, it's going to attract small businesses that are looking for funding sources, of which they are one of. So it not only positions them as an authority, right? Mark says, awesome webinar this weekend. Thank you, brother. We talked about some of this over the weekend, Mark. They are leading with value. They're giving 16 small business funding sources. I'm going to go over some of them today. But what are they doing? They are casting a net to catch their ideal audience, which is small businesses that are in the need of funding, right? And if I wanted to get real gangster, I'll go and look at their stats and their analytics and show y'all how many people have come to read this article, right? But if we look at the rest of their website, what do we see? Here it is, funding. If you want information about funding, boom, you can go there. You want information on checking, you can go there. You want information on payment, you can go there. You want other resources, you can go check out their resource center. You can go check out some of their customer testimonies. This is why every business should have a platform for positioning themselves as an authority, like a blog, like a podcast, like a regular video series, or something where they're constantly positioning themselves as the expert in their niche so that they can attract organically the people that they are looking to serve. So I just want to point that out to you guys because y'all hear me saying this, but I'm not just saying this because I think it's a good thing to do. No, I'm saying this because this is what successful businesses are doing. So let's jump into some of these funding sources for small businesses. How many small business owners are out there? Comment in the chat if you are actually running a business right now. Finding funding sources for a small business is often challenging, especially for first-time business owners. Gaining access to capital for your business requires a lot of time and effort, but you go down the right path, you can get the funding you need to succeed. Now, I put the link to this actual article in the comments, so if you click on it, you'll notice that they link to a lot of other resources on here. So number one on the list, and I hate to give numbers when they don't give numbers because I lose my place all the time, but angel investors, right? If your business is a startup, you may have access to a few different funding options. The first is an angel investor, who is a person interested in investing in a company as an entrepreneur. Angel investors can provide a one-time investment to help you get the business off the ground or offer continuous support as the needs of the business grow and change. Usually these angel investors are looking for a nice return on their investment. And what they tend to do is take a piece of ownership of the company until the company grows and stands on its own feet, and then they will allow you to buy them out at a substantial return on their investment, right? So angel investors are a good source for small businesses, especially startups, right? These are people who don't particularly want to help you run the day-to-day operations of the business. They just are looking for solid businesses to invest in where they can see potential for that business to have success. Number two, venture capitalists. Now, the most common investment option for small business is venture capital. Venture capitalists will typically invest in companies with the potential for long-term growth. On the investor side, the risk is high because the growth is generally based on perception and projections, not reality, right? They're basing their investment in your business and your opportunity on certain projections and perceptions. Now, here's where a lot of businesses, especially Black-owned businesses, shout out to my girl, Dr. Danetta Watson, right? She's teaching me all about how to run my business from the numbers. If you do not have your business laid out by the numbers, what do I mean by laid out by the numbers, right? Do you know the growth of your industry? Do you know the average profit margin of your industry? Do you have baked into every product that you create your operating costs, your marketing costs, and your profit built into every single product so you can estimate how many products it takes for you to sell to make the profit that you want to see at the end of the year? That's running your business by the numbers. When you sit down with a venture capitalist and you can say, my cost of acquiring a customer is this, my average retention of my customer is this, the lifetime value of my customer is this, right? The cost to create and service this product is this. Baked into this product, 20% of the cost of this price goes to marketing. Another 18% of this price includes my profit. The rest of it is operating costs that covers my building, my utilities. And when you can step to your venture capitalist and you know these numbers, right? Who is that says, good morning, brother, praise God, I'm celebrating 20 years as a business owner and entrepreneur. Man, shout out to you, brother. Good morning, I appreciate that. Or sister, because I can't tell when you're in the Facebook group, you have to always put your name. So venture capitalists want to know what is the perception of your business growing and what is the projections of your business growing. And they want to comb over your business with a fine-tooth comb. And if they see that there's potential, they're willing to take the risk, right? Because they know on the other side of that is a huge reward. But most entrepreneurs, right? I had two mentors that have told me this so far. Dr. Danetta Watson, I'm in her class right now. And then also Henry Doris. He said people are playing at business. They're not playing business to win, though, because they don't look at all of the other factors. A solopreneur business is tough to scale, and a solopreneur business is not a fundable business model, right? Oh, that's Thomas H. Clifton. Attorney Clifton, what's going on, my friend? Solopreneur business models are not fundable business models. So if you're in business thinking you're going to do it by yourself without developing a team, I'm not saying you can't be profitable that way. I'm not saying you can't make money that way. But did you know, and I'm talking to my brothers and sisters, right? Out of 2 million Black-owned businesses in America, less than 200,000 of them employ someone. 2 million Black-owned businesses in America, right? Less than 200,000 have employees. Now, if we look at the cause and effect, 95% of Black people work for other cultures. Black people have the highest unemployment rate of any other culture in the country. We don't create businesses that hire people, right? And businesses that can't hire people cannot get funding. So we're going to continue with 14 more of these options that you have. Don't forget, you guys can check out the free business credit masterclass at bizcredithelper.com. But now it is time for 1 Minute Motivation. If you are new here to the Cortez Hustle Show, every day we do something called 1 Minute Motivation. That's where we share a short motivational video, usually 60 to 90 seconds or so. And I'm going to ask those of you who are in position and you're watching us live, comment your takeaway. I'm going to give you a couple of my takeaways. And of course, we got to shout out our sponsor for the day. So let's get into 1 Minute Motivation right here on the Cortez Hustle Show.
I believe that self-discipline is the definition of self-love. That when you say that you love yourself, that means that you have behavior towards yourself that is loving. It's like you say to yourself, hey man, look, I know you want to eat that pizza and it'll be really good, but I can't let you eat that, man, because if you eat that pizza, you're going to feel like shit. And I love you too much to let you eat that. And I think the word discipline has kind of gotten a bad name. We think about it in terms of punishment. I'm not talking about discipline in that way. I'm talking about discipline in the sense that you forego immediate pleasure for the exchange of long-term self-respect. Self-love is when you say to yourself, oh, man, look, I know you and that girl got a real connection. I know y'all vibe, but that's your girl's cousin. So I love you too much to let you do that. Self-love is, hey, look, I know you got a test on Monday, and I know you really want to go out with your friends. It's Saturday night, you want to go out, but if you fail that test, you're not going to feel good about yourself. I love you too much to let you go out tonight. Self-discipline is self-love.
Hoo-wee. That is my second favorite YouTube clip from Will Smith. He has another one where he talks about fault versus responsibility. That is my favorite. That is my second favorite. How many of you guys agree? Self-discipline is self-love. Give me a comment. What are your thoughts? Or is he on point? Right? If you love yourself, then you will not allow yourself to do certain things that will bring or cause you long-term harm, right? Jim Rohn says it this way: you're going to pay a price Either you're going to pay the price of discipline or you're going to pay the price of regret. Here's the thing. The price of discipline is a temporary price that you pay. The price of regret is permanent, right? Coach Ali says, that was deep and too true. Currently working on my self-discipline. I can appreciate you for that honesty and that self-awareness, my friend. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. Mark Preston says, yes, on point. You need to love yourself so you can love others. But that's the key, man. Disciplining yourself is loving yourself. The good book talks about the loving our neighbors as we love ourselves. But what happens when we don't love ourselves? We don't give two shakes of a lamb tail about our neighbor, right? So you got to understand the correlation between how you feel about you and your willingness to discipline yourself to basically become the person that you want to become, to have the things that you want to have. That's what it all comes down to, right? Self-discipline means I'm becoming a better version of myself, not a different version, but I'm fulfilling more of my potential that already lives in me, right? It's like the tree that grows every year. The tree doesn't change, but the tree becomes more of what it already is. And you got a potential buried on the inside of you that will allow you, that has unlimited room for you to continue to grow into that shell. But it takes self-discipline to make it happen. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is 1 Minute Motivation right here on the Cortez Hustle Show, brought to you by bizcredithelper.com. Listen, if you have a business and you have not started to establish your business credit, you're slipping on your pimping, man. Go to bizcredithelper.com if you want to see a free business credit masterclass that literally walks you through everything that you need to do to start establishing your business credit. One thing that you need to know about wealthy people, successful people, when it comes to finance and business, is they very rarely use their own money, right? Dr. Danetta Watson, founder of the Black Mastermind Group, teaches us that every time you want to go from glory to glory in your business, you don't fund that with the business revenue. You go out and you get funding for that expansion. I hope y'all caught that. But it starts with you laying the foundation for your business and then establishing business credit, and then ultimately going through all 4 tiers of business credit, which ultimately puts you in line for business funding and business financing. So go to bizcredithelper.com, sign up for that free business credit masterclass. I want to see y'all win in business, man. That's why I give you guys all of this game for free. So I give you access to all of my resources for free. Yeah, I hope at some point you guys come and do some business with me. But at the end of the day, I'm on a mission to help Black people become the #1 employers of Black people in the next 2 generations. And we do that by sharing information, right? We can no longer afford to hoard information. So let's get back to the 16 small business funding sources that you need to be aware of. So we talked about angel investors. We talked about venture capitalists, right? Now watch this. Here's one that you might need to start doing some research in your area. Number 3, business plan competitions. Did you know that you can win money for having a dope business plan? Another appealing option for startup company owners is entering business plan competitions. Some of these competitions take place online, allowing for entry to many at the same time, while others are handled in person. Look for business plan competitions in your area to find out how to enter and what is needed to compete. You take your business plan, enter it into these competitions, and if you win, they'll give you money. Did y'all know that? I didn't know that. I didn't know such thing existed as a business plan competition. But they do. And that's another way that you can get money for your business. Number 4, business incubation. Now, this is one thing that I'm focused on in my local area. You guys see me online all the time, and I'm about to start disappearing on y'all because I got to get out from behind this computer and get in my community more. A startup may also qualify for business incubation programs. These programs exist to support entrepreneurial and development through all types of business services and resources. One of the leading organizations focused on business incubation is the International Business Innovation Association, INBIA. There's a link to it in the article. So if you click on the article in the show notes in the description, you'll see that there's other resources linked within the article. So browse their site to learn more about this option and whether your business would qualify. Now, let me help you understand something, because sometimes we're in the mindset that the only way that somebody can help us is by giving us money. Business incubation is about startup and resources that can also save you money. So, for instance, they might not give you money, but they might give you 30 hours of a business attorney to help you in your business. They might not give you money, but they might give you 15 hours of a business marketing consultant that will help you with your marketing plan. They might not give you money, but they might let you have this space over here for 6 months rent free. You guys understand? Business incubation is another one. I think we're on number 4. Don't quote me on these numbers. Number 5, Small Business Association. They have a program called 7A loans, right? Start or expand your business with an SBA loan. As a small business owner, your best bet is the SBA 7A loan. To qualify, you'll need to demonstrate a clear need and planned use for the funds, along with the purpose of your business. The program also has certain business size standards that are based on your industry. Now watch this, y'all. Watch this. You got to put your plans on paper. Listen, man, I've been in this class with the Black Mastermind group for the last 7 weeks. Tomorrow is our last 8th class, and I got my final homework assignment where I will literally build out a loan proposal, right? And when I tell you, I didn't understand the meticulous work that it takes to take what's in my head and put it on paper. See, in your head, what you want to do makes so much sense. In your head, when you talk about your business idea and you talk about expanding and growing, you talk about all the customers that you need to make this X amount of money, all of that makes sense in your head. But it's a different thing when you put it on paper and make it make sense to somebody else who's going to read and scrutinize it for its efficacy. They're going to read and scrutinize it for its plausibility, its probability. They're going to read and scrutinize it to fact check it against what's going on in your industry, what's going on with the amount of experience that you have. It's a whole different ball game, y'all. I start putting this stuff on paper. I'm like, man, you don't know nothing about business. That's why I had to take a class. That's why I had to get a mentor. That's why I had to get somebody to help me, right? But the Small Business Association has what's called 7A loans. They're specifically designed for smaller businesses to either start, grow, expand, increase infrastructure, increase inventory, make bigger impacts in their community, hire more people. They're specifically tailored for small businesses, right? Next on the list, Small Business Lending Fund. According to the U.S. Department of Treasury's website, the Small Business Lending Fund is a dedicated fund designed to provide capital to qualified community banks and community development loan funds in order to encourage small business lending. The purpose of the Small Business Lending Fund is to encourage Main Street banks and small businesses to work together to help create jobs. So if you are in a situation with your business and you need staffing, this is one of the best places to go to get the funds so you create an operating budget that will allow you to hire 2 or 3 people, because it's all about community development and building the relationships between the business owners at the banks and the community. It's all about making a positive impact. For instance, if you have the ability with your business plan and your business model to clear out a dilapidated building that's an eyesore in the community, replace it with another building that's going to provide jobs, you're cleaning up the community and you're providing jobs, these people will give you funding for that. If your business plan is on paper and if it's sound, if it's solid, right? Small business financing is the next one. There are a number of small business financing options to consider, including equity financing, microfinancing, and debt financing, also known as peer-to-peer lending. We'll explore each of these in the details below. But small business finance, there's a lot of ways that you can get financing. In fact, if you really want to get a look at several different financing options, then let me know, because I got a ton in my back pocket that I can share with you guys. Equity financing. So what is equity financing? The process of equity financing involves selling stock options to investors, both individuals and institutions. In exchange for their investment, the stock shareholders receive an ownership interest in the business. A new vision of this method is equity crowdfunding, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. So is your business sound and solid enough to where you can stand in a room full of 100 people and say, here's what my business is going to do in the future. Here's what it's worth now based on what we're projecting. Here's what it's going to be worth then. All we need to make that happen is an infusion of capital. And when you infuse your capital or invest your capital with us, we were going to provide you X amount of shares or X amount of ownership in the company, right? And this could be done publicly or privately. A lot of people don't realize that private businesses sell shares. You don't have to take your company public to raise capital in this way. Now, you want to get you a good attorney. There are some things that you have to put in place, but you don't have to take your company public to make this a reality. You can do this in the private world just as well. I don't know what number we're on. I told y'all I hate that. But we're on the next one is peer-to-peer lending. One alternative method to debt financing is peer-to-peer lending, which allows you to lend and borrow money to and from other business owners and peers within your industry or business space. Instead of using a bank or other financial institution, peer-to-peer lending eliminates the middleman, right? This is a strategy that has been used since the beginning of time, where banks and institutions start coming together. It's like, hey, me and 10 of my friends will just pool $1,000 a month for a year, and we'll create our own fund. And when somebody needs to borrow from our fund, we will lend it to them at terms, right? It's peer-to-peer lending. Next on the list, microfinancing. For owners of struggling businesses, microfinancing is another good small business funding option, giving additional financial resources to those who qualify as low-income borrowers. Microfinancing options are handled by community development financial institutions. So because your business isn't, your business credit isn't established, for instance, because your business isn't making a ton of money, does not mean you cannot qualify for funding and finances, right? Last week we did a show on all of the different things that hold Black-owned businesses back. And one of the things is that most Black business owners won't even attempt to go and get financing. They won't even attempt to, because they're scared, because they think my credit is bad, I don't have business credit, and they're only thinking about going into a bank for funding. Guys, there are so many funding sources out there for you. There's so many different types of funding based on business industry and business needs that you should be willing to explore them all. Now, watch this. If you go into these institutions and inquire about getting funding, the worst thing that can happen is that you get educated. I know y'all thought I was going to say the worst thing that can happen is that you get turned down. Anybody scared of no turn down? The worst thing that can happen is you get educated about what's missing in your business plan, what's missing in your business model, what's missing on your application. You get educated. Matter of fact, just go into to the bank's online portal and start filling out an application and pay attention to the questions that they are asking you. And then the questions that you don't have the answers to, go get them. Even if it takes you 6 months to put that into your business, even if it takes you a year to develop a process around that. You need business financial literacy is just as important as personal financial literacy. And in our community, we are struggling with both. We're struggling with personal financial literacy and we're struggling with business financial literacy. Money has its own language. That's one of the reasons that we struggle. That's why it's called literacy, right? You cannot read or speak the language of money. That's what financial illiteracy means. You're financially illiterate if you cannot read or speak the language of money. And the language of money changes when it goes from personal finance to business finance. But if we're not even trying to learn, we'll never learn. Traditional small business loans, right? We're talking about 16 small biz funding sources. If you guys have not already, please hit that share button. If you're getting any value from this, please share this out, right? If you have not already commented the name of your business and or your brand, put that in the comments. You never know who might want to connect with you. It's another thing that we have a problem doing is networking, right? I don't care if your business ain't even up and running yet. If you just got an idea of a business, tell us a little bit about it in the comments, right? But also don't forget, if you want the Business Credit Masterclass, it's 100% free, y'all. All y'all got to do is go register and invest a little bit of time. Go to bizcredithelper.com. bizcredithelper.com. Register. It's a free masterclass. We'll literally walk you through all the steps, all the processes that's required for you to start with tier 1 all the way up to tier 4 business credit, right? We'll walk you through the whole process. Traditional small business loans. It's not always easy to get qualified for a traditional loan, but you may have an advantage if you apply through a financial institution that specializes in small business loans. This is why if you go through something like the Small Business Association, the lenders that they're going to refer you to have a specialized knowledge in financing smaller operations, right? The better your credit score, the more likely you are to qualify, but loan officers often review the debt to income ratio, which can make it more challenging to qualify for the funding you need for your business, right? But establishing a business credit profile and a business credit history is a huge step in the right direction. Next on the list, mortgage loan. When you're planning to buy real estate or construct a commercial building, you can apply for a mortgage loan on the property. Mortgages are used by businesses and individuals to purchase real estate without needing the full value upfront in cash. So this is an expansion. This is you going to buy and own a building, right? You can actually get a loan to go into the building to establish your business. right? This is huge. These are things that we don't even think about when it comes to business financing, right? Next on the list, using credit cards for a financing solution. Credit cards, both personal and business, can also be used to fund purchases for the company. Most credit cards have high interest rates, so this option should be used only for short-term funding, right? But here's another hack. If your credit cards have a great cashback program, your credit cards have a great cashback program. For instance, 1% of all your purchases you get in cash back. It might be smart to run all of your business activities through that credit card, because I've seen people testify to getting 5-figure cashback checks from their credit card companies, for instance, because they run their entire business operations through the credit card. You know, there are some businesses who are investing 5 figures a month in advertising for their business. And then they're paying that advertising bill on a credit card, and they're earning 1% every time they make a payment to their credit card, every time they make a purchase on that credit card. So at the end of the year, not only do they invest in advertising for their business, but then that credit card company kicks them back a 5-figure check, which could be used to continue to help grow the business. Next is savings accounts. Small business owners use the funds in their personal savings account to pay for business expenses and get the company off the ground. The concept of stretching financial resources as far as possible is called bootstrapping, and it's an effective and affordable way to maintain a positive cash flow. But let me say this. Now, this again comes from my mentor, Dr. Danetta Watson. If you're bootstrapping your business, chances are it is not a fundable business model. Bootstrapping is not a fundable business model, meaning if you are using money from your savings, if you are using the revenue from the business to try to grow the business, not fundable, right? If your business makes $5,000 a month and your business spends $5,000 a month to operate, anybody gonna fund that? Anybody gonna fund it? Because there's no growth there. You're spending everything that comes in, right? So you got to understand how to position your business so you can start running your business by the numbers. It's the numbers, y'all. When I first got going in this class, and Dr. Danetta Watson started helping me work with, okay, Cortez, how much does it cost for you to create your service? What goes into a service at Thornton Online Marketing? I said, well, okay, I use this tool, I use this tool, I use this website, I use this program, I use this software, I use this service, I have a customer service team that helps me on the back end. Okay, put all of that in, right? And then divide that by the amount of products that you or services you want to render per month, right? Boom, that goes into the product, okay? Now, is your price of your product based on that? No, Doc. How did you come up with your price? I just picked one out of the sky. Right? That ain't how businesses run. Right? Then she said, okay, okay, that's what it takes. Now, how many people actually touch the product to either fulfill it or to sell it? Okay, well, it's just me right now. But in an ideal world, I'll probably have an admin. I would probably have an operations manager. I would probably have a salesperson. I'll probably have a marketing person. I'll probably have a social media manager, right? Okay, well, if all of these people had to touch the product in order for it to move and make money for the company, then all of these people have to get a piece of every product sold. So in your price of your product, does it include revenue to go to all of these people? No, dog. I pulled it out of the sky. I told you. I saw somebody else had a similar product, so I just said, okay, mine gonna cost that. but you don't know nothing about that other person and their business model. So you can't just say that your product costs this when you don't know what's going on over there. Okay, Doc, got it. Now, so she said, everybody has to touch it. How much it costs to create it? How many people have to touch it to sell it and move it and fulfill on it? What about your location, right? How much does it cost you to rent the space that you have? What are your utilities? It's like, really, Doc? Okay. I have a community office space that I rent. I have my home office, of course. I have utilities that I have to pay. I pay for internet. I pay for cell phone. All that. Okay. Is all of that incorporated in the price of your product? No, I pulled it out the sky. Wait, what? So how do you know that you're going to price the product correctly so that it's profitable? Okay, got it. So Doc, you're telling me that I need to build into my price the cost that it costs to make the product. Yep. Then everybody that touches the product to either sell it or fill it or to manage it, they need to get paid out of each product. Yep. Then your location, your office, your utilities, all of that has to be in each product. Okay, got it. How much does it cost you to market the product, Cortez? Go ahead. I don't spend a lot of money on advertising. Well, how do you get your customers? Okay, I use content marketing. Okay, how much time do you put into content marketing? Well, I'll do a daily podcast. That's an hour. Then I take that daily podcast and I split it up into little pieces of content for YouTube and other platforms. So that's another couple hours. So how much do you pay yourself per hour? Then multiply that times the amount of hours that you put in to market the product. And then you got to put that in the price of the product. Oh, damn, Doc. Okay, so I got what it costs to build a product, what it costs to manage all the people that touch it. I got their stuff in there. Then I got my location in the product. Then I got my marketing in the product. And then she said, what is the average profit margin for your industry? Huh? Yeah, go look up the average profit margin of your industry. Okay, I looked at the average profit margin of my industry. It's about 18%. Now, does your product have the profit margin in it? It's like, no, Doc. Well, how do you expect to make a profit if you didn't even put profit in the price of your product? Oh, crap, Doc. So now I had to go back and put the profit in there. And that's how you run your business, by the numbers, people. I hope that made a light bulb come on for some of y'all. I hope when you start analyzing your business in this way, you can see whether you even have a profitable business model to begin with. Some of y'all gonna have to change our whole model, and it's okay. But if you're not running your business by the numbers so that it's profitable, so that it is sustainable, and most importantly, so that it is fundable, you need to change it anyway. Right? Last one we're going to cover is grants. There's a couple more on the list, so click on the link in the show notes in the bio. You guys can go read the other one. But grants. Applying for small business grants is a way to obtain business funding without having to pay it back. The Business USA website is a good place to start looking for grants. There, you'll answer 5 multiple choice questions about your business venture. Then you'll get a list of potential government grants, including state and federal funds that may apply to your company. How many of you guys knew that you can go to a website, answer 5 questions, and get a list of all of the grants that you might be able to qualify for? I didn't know that. As I tell y'all every day, I do this research for me. This is what I'm looking to do to grow my business. So as a result, I just share it with y'all because we, as Black people, as entrepreneurs, we cannot afford to hoard information. We can't afford that anymore. Look where hoarding information has gotten us. Can't afford it. So I share all my sources with y'all because I want to see y'all win in business, and y'all come up and y'all show up every day. Y'all listen to me rant for an hour because y'all want to see me win in business. And I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all. So go to Business USA website, answer the 5 questions, and to see if there might be some grant money waiting on you right now. And you worried about how you're going to launch your business. You worried about how you're going to fund your business, right? So, ladies and gentlemen, those are some funding sources for small businesses. And this is why you as an entrepreneur should have a blog or some sort of information-based platform to attract people to you. So now I'm on Cabbage website and I'm like, man, I didn't even know American Express had bought them out, right? But now I'm going to start clicking through some other stuff. And guess what? I'm going to have to do as soon as I click something, I'm going to have to put my name and my email address in. So now I became a lead for Cabbage. This is why you need a blog for your business. This is why you need a podcast for your business. This is why you need to do regular YouTube content or something that builds a platform for you to showcase your knowledge, your skills, your talents, to build you as an authority in your industry so you attract the people that you want to serve to you. But here's what scares people. When I do what I do, I not only attract people to me, I also repel people from me, because some people just won't like me because I'm Black. Some people just won't listen to me because I'm a man. Some people just won't listen to me because I'm bald head. Some people just won't like this Midwest country grammar that I speak with. And that's okay. I'm only here to serve who I'm here to serve. Some of y'all gonna get that in the morning. So remember, if you want the free business credit masterclass, go to bizcredithelper.com. It is 100% free, y'all. It is free game on how to establish business credit. It's about a 90-minute webinar, but it's very thorough, and it literally helps you understand what you need to be doing, the do's and the don'ts that will allow you to start establishing your business credit profile. So as always, man, I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Till I talk to you guys next time, I want you to get your money up, because you absolutely can do it. But more importantly, you deserve to do it, each and every single one of you. Now, hustle. But you've got to overcome fear if you're going to win.
You're tuned into the Cortez Hustle Show. Please like and subscribe.